We are Jonty and Millie, and along with our kids, we look for the amazing wonders of our world, living in Singapore and exploring beyond. Welcome to Wanderlust. So it is my mother-in-law's birthday today, so we're taking her for a little touristy walk around the Marina Bay area. We are actually in the City Link walkway, which kind of links up loads of different malls in the city. Everybody else has gone to the washroom first, so I thought I'd just say hi to you guys before we start the rest of our day.
Can't really come to Singapore and not see MBS or like now the Apple Store and the Merlion's over there, but this is one of our favourite walks anyway, day or night. It's just beautiful around here.
You can see behind me that all of the lights and the fencing is still up there for the F1, which happened just about 10 days ago. I'm not a massive fan of F1, I'm not really into it, but we did watch it, not live, we watched it on TV, well, as it happened. And I was really excited by it, I thought it was really good. Enjoyed it very much, so I was very proud to see Singapore on display like that to the world. That was pretty cool too.
Jonty just told me that the Merlion used to be in a different spot, and I didn't know that. And we just looked online and there's a photo of the Merlion more in front of the Fullerton, but apparently when the bridge was built they wanted to move it to a more prominent position, so this is where it is now.
There's something I just love about Singapore in the sunshine. I think it's a bit like Britain in the sunshine. It's glorious. There's something absolutely beautiful about it. So behind me you've got Marina Bay Sands. For those of you who've never experienced it before, that is also the Art Science Centre, which is in the shape of a lotus leaf. We keep going round. I think you should be able to see, I can't see on the tiny screen on the camera, but we have got the Singapore Flyer, which is like the London Eye. We've got the Marina, the floating Marina platform, which is pretty cool too. Around over to the side, a load of different hotels, including the Mandarin Oriental, where we stayed when we first came here on quarantine. We were there for 14 days in one room, and then over a bit further you've got where we were just now, which is the things that look like durians, or the tops of microphones if you like. They are the two concert halls. One's a concert hall, one's a theatre at the Esplanade. We can keep going round. That's the mouth of the Singapore River, which is pretty cool. Over here is the Fullerton Hotel, which used to be a post office, and also government buildings. My grandma used to work there. And then we've got the Merlion, where we've been looking over to the CBD, and then over the Marina to where you can see the Apple building as well, which is pretty cool. Another amazing fact about this area is that all the water here is now fresh water, but once upon a time it was all seawater. Actually, all of that wasn't even land before. That is all reclaimed land where Marina Bay Sands sits now. This just used to be looking out at sea. The salt water was all here, but over there in the far distance behind the Helix Bridge is a barrage which stops the seawater from coming in now. All of this is fresh water. It's a reservoir. It is all water that gets put into the system across the country, which is pretty cool. But this used to look and sound and smell very, very different in the years gone by, with different people coming in on their bum boats and their different cargo coming through the mouth of the Singapore River. It's pretty cool. Sometimes I love to just place myself there and imagine it, but it's so different today. And it, and different doesn't mean bad. I think it's actually, it's better. It's incredible that they've been able to build all this stuff here. I'm having an amazing day. It's great so far. We got loads more to come, including actually we're going to be going over to, and you can't see them behind me, but beyond the Helix Bridge is the two domes, the Flower Dome and the Cloud Forest. We're going to be going there and bringing you with us in a short while too.
I'm going to show Nanny the little Merlion.
Ooh, thank you, that's great, let's go. I really like that there's lots of tourists around here today. Aspen's umbrella is being borrowed as a prop under the Merlion from being rained on. There's people bringing cuddly toys to take photos with the Merlion. I think someone has got a pillow with perhaps a celebrity's face on it here, which is quite funny. But it just makes me smile because everyone's enjoying the Merlion and seeing this for the first time, and you can just see the joy in their faces. It's really cool.
So we are backtracking so that we can cross the Helix Bridge. It is a really, really warm day today. It is beautiful to see Singapore with the blue skies. We haven't had it for a little while. It's been very rainy lately. We are in monsoon season, and I don't normally carry a brolly to keep the sun off me, but it's hot and I don't want to get burnt, so I'm just being sensible. Must be getting old. Isn't that a good Miffy umbrella?
We've got matching.
Oh, his and hers, look. We're just walking next to the stadium-y sort of chairs, the tiered seating that is there permanently for whatever's happening on the float. Was most recently used, I think, for the F1. Oh, maybe not actually, because actually the F1's over here. This is part of the course of the road, so they wouldn't be able to see anything if they were sat up there. And this is part of the famous street circuit that happens at night time here in Singapore. We're walking along it, getting around to the Helix Bridge very soon. So it looks like they did have the Formula 1 cars driving past the front of that. That would have made sense to me. This is the Helix Bridge, and you can see everything here. I guess it's the bit that you'd feel is most familiar to you.
Yeah, from your vlogs, for sure.
It's probably like the most iconic parts of Singapore, right across this marina. And the lotus flower looks still quite small from here. When you get closer, it gets bigger and bigger as you get closer to it. We're at the food court at Marina Bay Sands and it is rammed. We're just coming for a little tiny bite to eat, but it's super, super busy. So we are looking to descend upon a table first of all, and then to get some food next.
I've gone for my favourite nasi lemak, yong tau fu. Mum, what did you go for?
Pork with lots of roast noodle and pak choy.
It's the biggest portion of beehoon I've ever seen in my life. Jonty went for chicken rice.
I feel quite full after that.
We ate a lot for dinner last night as well.
We went out for Korean barbecue for a friend's plate, and then we've got Korean barbecue tonight for Millie's mum's birthday.
Mum says all she's done this holiday is eat, but that's what you do. Come to Singapore, you eat. You gotta eat the foods.
So we're actually going to look for the Sky Bridge. There's a bridge that takes us from here, the shops at Marina Bay Sands, over to the Super Tree Park and the domes. So we're going to see if we can find that now. We think it's up here somewhere, so we're going to go up a couple of escalators and then again, and we think there's like a really, really long kind of stairway to heaven style one.
Yeah.
And then it's up there, so. It is hot here, it's like a greenhouse.
No, it's not. Greenhouse is supposed to be
Greenhouse up here.
Everyone said it was like a greenhouse. This is such a beautiful decked boardwalk on the top of the shops at Marina Bay Sands. And it's pretty much empty. I'm so surprised that no one is up here enjoying what's here. I mean, it's a warm day, so that's probably what it is. But the views are great, and it's so quiet and peaceful. The boardwalk has been so well maintained. It's just brilliant. I love it. We're just heading over there to the two domes. One of them is called the Cloud Forest, one of them is called the Flower Dome, and it looks like it's miles away, but actually it's really, really close. So we're just going to take a little walk through, explore the super trees as well, which is great. It's so nice actually for me as well, because we come here quite regularly. I'm sure you've seen some of our videos here, but to be able to bring Julie here and to bring Sophie here means that we're looking at it with a slightly different perspective, and I'm telling them more about where we are, and I'm actually really appreciating it all the more too, which is great. So I hope you do too.
Enjoying your first taste of touristy Singapore day?
Yeah, it's really good. All the things I've seen on your vlog are here today, and it's amazing to see it for real. It's an amazing country. I'm loving it a lot.
Good. We've got lots more to come today too.
Yeah, it's good.
Hello. We were here just a couple of weeks ago for the Mid-Autumn Festival, and it was absolutely heaving with people. Like, we couldn't walk in a straight line. You were constantly kind of like jolting between people, but now it's completely empty, which is really, really strange, but really lovely as well. peaceful. What were you just saying?
About the new MRT line that's coming soon. Pretty soon there is going to be a new MRT station that will be finishing not too far from here. So if you want to get here, it'll be a little bit quicker on the MRT, which I'm pretty excited about.
One of the things that always gets me when we come in here is like how it's the opposite to a greenhouse in the UK. So in the UK you'd come into one of these places and it would be, well, I say these places, much smaller version of this, and it would be a lot warmer. But here it's cold. It's kind of like cool and almost feels breezy. I'm not sure where the breeze is coming from, but it's great. Just behind me is a little display which is advertising Andalusia in Spain, which is nice, and it kind of has a nice little mood to it, but we're going to check out the rest of it too. Often when we're at food places, I wish that we had smell-o-vision where we could show you what it smells like where we are, but I had that feeling right just now. I can smell like rosemary somewhere, and it smells like a gravy on a Sunday lunch in the UK, but I couldn't find it. I could just smell it. And then some Brits walked past me and they're like, oh, it smells like home, which is really funny. So we just had a brief chat. Oh, hang on. No, that's not it. Turns out there is a display on Andalusia all the way through Gardens by the Bay. And it's beautiful, it's really lovely. There's little facts everywhere. Hang on. There's a lot of pollen here that I'm not used to. Lots of things around here that are just kind of advertising for Andalusia, which is pretty cool.
This is where I met Santa. Hello?
This is a nice spot for people watching. You can see down there just everybody around. There's people in graduation gowns taking photos, which is nice. Families, couples taking photos. Tourists kind of dressed up, or people come here deliberately to take photos, which is really nice. I think this is one of those places you can come again and again, especially as like we've been here before and it was decorated for December, for winter, and there was like a grotto set up. Father Christmas was here one year, and then today you've got all the, I can't remember what it's called, but Andalusia? No, Andalusia. Thanks, Jonty. Andalusia. So they've got all the sunflowers and flowers that you would find there. Because I do find in Singapore you don't get as many flowers. There's different plants here, but not as many flowers as we're used to seeing in the UK. So it's nice to come and see pops of colour here too.
I was just talking to the really, really lovely auntie who's just behind me, doing some of the gardening, plucking away all the dead parts of the succulents there. She was saying she's been doing this job here since 2020, since COVID hit. She previously was working in the gift shop here, and when that closed she came and started working and looking after all the plants in here. She loved it so much that she stayed. She actually said that the plants don't chat back, don't talk back to her like the customers do, but she finds it very, very rewarding, and I think that's lovely. We've just finished up in the flower dome and we're heading off now to the cloud forest, which is just next door. So this is the cloud forest that we've entered now, and you'll notice that the cloud forest is much more green. The flower dome has got all the flowers around it. It's a lot drier. Here they mist every now and again and everything gets wet, and it's just like being here in the tropics in Singapore, because with the humidity it's a lot wetter, the air's a lot wetter for the pollen to be able to take off and to be able to pollinate in different places. So everything is less floral, a lot more green, a lot more lush, and that's what we're going to experience here at the cloud forest. You guys getting soggy? Is it a bit wet?
Yeah, it's wet over there.
Is it a little bit wet?
Still getting wet.
Still getting wet now. Let's carry on.
So the cloud dome is getting ready for the Avatar exhibition, which you can see behind me. These black sheets are covered, so they're transforming the whole thing, I guess kind of to be like the Avatar movie. So that's a whole experience that you can come and see. I'll put the details below if that's something you want to look at. And I realized the Avatar movie came out a really long time ago. I was in my head, I'm like, oh yeah, a couple of years ago, but yeah, it was a lot longer than that actually. There's some wedding photos happening in here, which is cool, and I love that everybody's just stopping, letting them have their wedding photos before moving on. So Mum just said someone's put a coffee cup like littered in the bush, but I read in the other dome that they put something in it, some sort of bug or natural creature that comes out and eats the other bugs that destroy the plants. Fun fact. These are the kind carnivorous plants. So the bug gets in and then it can't get back out, and then the top shuts and it just has an enzyme in there that just breaks it all down.
I saw one of these at Mount Kinabalu that would probably have contained about 3 litres of water. It was enormous. I love this bit here. I love how it opens out and it's so expansive, and you can see the Singapore River over there. It's just beautiful. I love that you can just get the whole view with the glass. It's absolutely brilliant. I'm really enjoying this dome. For some reason earlier on I was kind of thought in my mind how much I definitely preferred the other one, but actually now I'm walking around here, I think this one's got a little bit more wonder and a little bit more magic to it. Not to say that the other one wasn't worth it, it definitely is, but I'm really enjoying this one. If you look through the glass behind me, you can actually see the Marina barrage that I was telling you about earlier. The other side of it is seawater and this side is fresh water. And down there, I don't know if you can see it very well, but there's a little water park, a little play park, where we took Milo on our first trip here with him in 2014.
Flower dome?
Yeah, extremely interesting plants in there I've never seen, but lots I have seen. There was a beautiful English rose just hanging off one of the plants.
You want to see
Well, it's so
this?
good in there, lots of tropical things to see. And it did say a little piece there that they're discovering things from scientists looking at those plants that they've never discovered in the wild. So, good piece of information there.
Did you have a favourite cloud or flower?
I just found all the succulents quite interesting because their little
Yeah, they
shapes
were
very
pretty cool.
interesting, little tiny ones. Yeah, it's all good.
Nice.
Very interesting.
So we're now going to go and grab some dinner.
Woo!
So we've decided that we're going to take Mum for her first taste of Korean barbecue to a place that we've been to before in Somerset. So we're going to walk back to the MRT, hop on that and take the red line all the way to Somerset.
What a beautiful plant. It grows like that. Looks like artificial and created, but yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. Maybe it is created. I don't know how well this whole area translates onto the screen, but it's beautiful. Everywhere we look, there's something beautiful to see. The planting is stunning. There's plants that are new and different everywhere. We're leaving this area now, taking the MRT over to Orchard to have some dinner. So let's go.
Korean barbecue at the top near 313 Somerset. So we really like this place. We came here before and we had to order at the table, but now there's a buffet so you can just go around and help yourself, which is pretty cool. We like sitting outside because you've got a brilliant view over the city and it should be a sunset as well while we're here. So we're going to grab our food and get cooking. Cooking already. These guys have loaded up on fries.
What do you think of Korean barbecue?
Extremely tasty, lots of choice. I love the salad and had much salad, I guess, with all the fruit salad and stuff. Really good. Meat is well cooked by my son-in-law.
It's really good. It's just all of it.
What have you got, Aspen?
Not my days.
Wow. Did you leave any seaweed in the sea? No?
Orchard Road is alive. It is midweek and the place is buzzing. And I think it's awesome. We are just going to take a little walk along Orchard Road, which is a beautiful place to go and well worth the visit for Julie and Sophie. And then we're going to take the MRT back home from Orchard so they can check out Ion as well, which is a nice mall.
Have you enjoyed your first birthday in Singapore?
Yeah, I've had a lovely birthday in Singapore and also what a treat to spend it with my family because I haven't seen all of you for so long.
No.
It's been really special. I very much enjoyed it. Thank you for making such a wonderful day.
Good, I'm glad. So we are going to finish here. We're going to take the MRT home. It's, 9 o'clock. We've had a pretty full-on day exploring, being tourists again for us, which has been quite fun.
Yeah, it's been nice.
Yeah, so thanks for watching and we'll see you soon. Bye.